Aspire to a clean career, leaving no shame for descendants. Hello everyone. Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Case Stories, Cases Judged by Bao Gong. Today, I'm going to bring you a story called Framing. In Yongping County, there was a man named Zhou Yi, who had married a woman from the Liang family. Together, they had a beautiful daughter named Yumei. Now 16 years old, Yumei was stunningly beautiful. Raised under her mother's guidance, she was not only graceful in appearance but also virtuous and talented. The villagers all spoke highly of her. When Yumei was just 6 or 7 years old, her parents had arranged a marriage for her with a local young man named Yang Yuan. Their wedding was supposed to take place soon, but it was postponed due to the recent passing of Yang Yuan's mother. One day, a wealthy man named Wu He was passing by the Zhou family's house while on his way to collect debts. As he turned his head, he caught sight of Yumei leaning against the window, skillfully embroidering. Her posture and elegance were breathtaking. Wu He stopped in his tracks, captivated by her beauty. Turning to his servant, he asked, "Whose daughter is that?" "She's absolutely lovely." The servant replied, "That is Miss Yumei from the Zhou family." Wu He then asked, "Has she been married yet?" The servant shook his head, unsure. From that moment on, Wu He could not stop thinking about Yumei. She occupied his thoughts day and night. Determined to win her hand, he sought the help of a friend, Wei Liang, to act as a matchmaker. Wei Liang visited Zhou Yi and said, "Wu He is a man of great wealth, with vast fields and estates. His family has been rich and powerful for generations. He is young, generous, and well respected in the county. Now, he wishes to marry your daughter, and he has sent me to act as his matchmaker. I hope you will accept this proposal." Zhou Yi listened and then replied, "There is no doubt that Wu He's family is wealthy and distinguished. Everyone in the county knows that. Wu He himself is a well-known young man, and I certainly do not deny his merits. However, my daughter is already betrothed. She has been engaged to Yang Yuan since childhood, and I cannot break this promise." Wei Liang returned to Wu He and said, "I don't think there's any hope. Yumei was promised to Yang Yuan long ago, and her family refuses to break the engagement." Upon hearing this, Wu He flew into a rage. "With my wealth and status, how could I lose to Yang Yuan?" he fumed. "He is the reason I have been denied what I desire. If I don't get rid of him, how can I ever be at peace?" Wei Liang tried to calm him down. "People always say that instead of fighting for a bride, it is better to find another. There are many fine women in this world. You don't need to fixate on just one." However, Wu He refused to listen and insisted on taking the matter to the county yamen. Upon hearing this, Zhou Yi wasted no time. He quickly selected an auspicious day and sent his daughter to Yang Yuan's house for the wedding. Once the marriage was officially completed, there would be no way for Wu He to interfere any further. When Wu He heard about this, he was furious. He secretly had several cedar trees cut down and soaked them in the fish pond in front of Yang Yuan's house, intending to create trouble and take revenge on Yang Yuan. He then wrote a petition and went to the county magistrate, Qin Ho of Shuiping County, accusing Yang Yuan of stealing the cedar trees from his family's tomb. The magistrate summoned the neighbors for questioning, and they all testified. The cedar trees were indeed planted near Wuha's family tomb, but it was he who instructed his servant to throw the trees into the pond in front of Yang Yuan's house. We saw it with our own eyes and dare not hide the truth. Yang Yuan defended himself, saying, Wuha cut down the cedar trees and framed me. He is just trying to take revenge because he failed to win my marriage to Miss Yume. I'm truly wronged. Wuha shouted angrily. Yang Yuan, you have stolen the cedar trees from my ancestors' tomb, disturbing their peace. Both my family and my ancestors are the real victims. We are the ones who have been wronged. Magistrate Qin Ho listened to all the testimony and angrily declared, Wuha, stop trying to deny it. It is clear that you were coveting the daughter of the Zhou family and, when that failed, you framed Yang Yuan. The neighbors are all witnesses. He then ordered the guards to give Wuha 20 lashes and sentenced him for the crime of false accusation. The ruling stated, after a thorough investigation, it has become clear that the dispute between Wuha and Yang Yuan over marrying Miss Yume has long been a source of resentment. Fueled by jealousy, Wuha cut down the cedar trees from his family tomb and secretly placed them in the pond in front of Yang Yuan's house, trying to frame him. However, in his clumsy attempt, he failed to consider that such large logs would surely draw attention from the neighbors. The neighbors confirmed that the trees were from Wuha's family tomb, and they saw him throw them into the pond. Yang Yuan is innocent, and all of this stems from Wuha's jealousy. This case is hereby closed. After the whole incident ended, Wuha, frustrated by his failed scheme, was seething with anger. He muttered to himself, I won't rest until I've destroyed Yang Yuan. From that point on, he spent every day scheming, looking for another opportunity to frame Yang Yuan. One day, Wuha was walking down the street when he happened to see a beggar begging for food. A wicked idea crossed his mind. He brought the beggar some wine and meat and asked, when you beg for food, where do you get the best offerings? Which place gives you the most money and rice? The beggar answered, I get good offerings near the big families. But right now, Yang Yuan's family is holding a feast to celebrate their good fortune after a disaster. They also have happy news, and if you beg there, not only can you get money and rice, but you can also enjoy the opera and music. We beggars go there often and are familiar with his family, so we get more offerings. Wuha asked, has their feast ended? Has the music and opera finished? The beggar replied, not yet. I'll be going there again tomorrow. Wuha then asked, I remember there's a well on the east corridor of Yang Yuan's house. Do you know how deep it is? Is anyone else using it? The beggar answered, that well belongs to Yang Yuan's family, and no one else uses it. Wuha patted the beggar on the shoulder and said, I'll give you some more wine and meat, but you need to do something for me. Will you do it? If you succeed, I'll give you a silver coin as a reward. The beggar grinned. If you're willing to pay me and let me help, I'd even go down into the well to get some earth from the bottom if you ask me. Wuha smiled and said, no need to go down into the well. Just help me with something at the well's mouth. After the beggar had eaten and drunk his fill, he asked, what do you want me to do? Wu-ha smiled and replied, "Today you've drunk a bit too much. Stay here for the night, and I'll tell you what to do tomorrow morning." The next morning, after the beggar had sobered up, Wu-ha handed him a package of gold and silver jewelry and said, "Take this package of jewelry and quietly place it in Yang Yuan's well. Make sure not to tell anyone. This matter is known only to you and me." The beggar took the package and left Wu-ha's house. On the way, the beggar happened to come across a stall selling hairpins and cosmetics, and a greedy thought crossed his mind. He went to a secluded spot and secretly opened the package. Inside, he found a pair of gold hairpins, 2 gold hairpins, a pair of silver bracelets, and 2 silver hairpins. His eyes immediately lit up, and his heart was filled with joy. He thought to himself, "I'll sell these gold and silver ornaments." So, he exchanged all the gold and silver jewelry for copper and tin ornaments, then repackaged them. Afterward, he made his way into Yang Yuan's house and, taking advantage of the chaos, tossed the ornaments into Yang Yuan's well. The next day, the beggar reported back to Wu-ha and received another reward of silver. When Wu-ha learned that everything had gone smoothly, he immediately wrote a petition accusing Yang Yuan of stealing his family's property. Coincidentally, Gong arrived in the area for his regular inspection. Upon receiving the petition, Gong began processing the case. He instructed his officers to search Yang Yuan's house for stolen goods. Wu-ha told the officers that the gold and silver jewelry was hidden in Yang Yuan's well. The officers went down into the well and, sure enough, found a package of jewelry at the bottom. Yang Yuan was stunned and confused when he saw what had happened. He didn't know how to defend himself. Soon, he was brought before Gong. Gong repeatedly questioned him, but Yang Yuan insisted he was innocent. Gong said, "That well is used only by your family, and the stolen goods are in it. Who can prove your innocence?" Despite being tortured, Yang Yuan continued to claim that he had not stolen anything. Gong began to have doubts and turned to Wu-ha. "Who made these gold and silver ornaments?" he asked. Wu-ha replied, "The gold ornaments were made by Huang Mei, and the silver ones were made by Wang Shan." Gong ordered the officers to bring Huang Mei and Wang Shan before him. He asked them, "Do you recognize these gold and silver items as your work?" Huang Mei replied, "I only make gold ornaments, never copper ones." Wang Shan added, "I only make silver ornaments, never tin ones." When Gong heard the words copper and tin, he looked at the ornaments in the cloth bundle and immediately sensed something was wrong. He temporarily locked up Yang Yuan and had Wu-ha thrown out of the courtroom. Then, he instructed the officers to secretly follow Wu-ha and listen to what he said outside. If anything suspicious occurred, they were to report back immediately. Officer Deng Shi quietly followed Wu-ha as he left the county office and headed to the market. There, Wu-ha found the beggar and confronted him, saying, "Why did you change all the gold and silver into copper and tin?" The beggar immediately denied it, saying, "How could I dare do such a thing?" Wu-ha angrily scolded him. Gong questioned the craftsmen Huang Mei and Wang Shan. They both recognized that the jewelry in the bundle isn't gold or silver. "It must have been you who swapped the ornaments." The beggar had no way to deny it anymore. Seeing this, Officer Deng Shi arrested the beggar and brought him back to Bao Gong. Bao Gong questioned him, "Why did you swap Wu-Ha's gold and silver ornaments?" The beggar, frightened out of his wits, confessed. "Wu-Ha asked me to throw the ornaments into Yang Yuan's well, but when I saw the gold and silver, I became greedy and secretly swapped them for copper and tin. The things are still with me, and I'm willing to return them. I beg you, Bao Gong, to show mercy and spare my life." Bao Gong, hearing this, was furious. He had Wu-Ha brought before him and subjected him to severe punishment, making Wu-Ha realize that his plan had failed once again. Finally, Bao Gong passed his judgment. Upon review, it is clear that Wu-Ha is a malicious and deceitful person. He used underhanded tactics to falsely accuse Yang Yuan, leading to his unjust suffering. Wu-Ha bribed a beggar to assist him, but in the end, his plan still failed. According to the case records, Wu-Ha had previously tried to frame Yang Yuan with the story of the cedar trees, and now he has attempted to frame him again with the jewelry. This shows the wickedness of his intentions. Despite all his scheming, he has only brought harm to others and to himself, and he cannot escape punishment. This man is evil to the extreme, and as such, he will be sentenced to forced labor as a warning to others. Yang Yuan is innocent and will be immediately released. The beggar, though guilty, acted out of greed and with minor culpability, so his punishment will be lighter and more lenient. Alright. Today's case story, framing, concludes here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Feel free to leave your comments and share with others. See you again in the next issue.